This is episode 20. I am back in the shed. It is boiling, and it's an episode with Flat Earth Dave. Hopefully not the last, but I think it might be the last, as he said. And I'm still on the fence with this one, which you will see in this episode. But as I've always stated, that this show is about other people's realities and my reality. But the whole point is to find out other people's reality and their perspective around that. And I think everyone should be allowed a choice to express their reality and also to distinguish what is true and what isn't true. Just like every guest that comes on the show, I want to have that, that choice too. And that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to talk to everyone around the world to find out all these different things. And as time goes on, my mind will develop, and what happens from that and what comes from that will also develop. But enjoy the episode. I think it's a good one. It's definitely entertaining. And we've got a lot going on about the Georgia Guidestones, Cern, and obviously Flat Earth, and whether I'm a Flat Earther or a globalist, who knows? So yeah, have a look and enjoy. Peace. So, a new episode, but not someone new, someone we've seen before, which is Flat Earth Dave. And if you haven't heard about him before, he believes that the Earth is flat. And we're going to dive in deep, but firstly, we're also going to talk about other conspiracies, such as the Georgia Stones, and also CERN, and sort of ancient civilizations as well. So, Dave, it's really good to have you back on the show. I see you're in space this time, so how's that going?
I figured that, since in your reservation you put that you still think you live in space, I'd make you feel more at home.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm still. I wouldn't say I'm either or. I'm still in the same way. I'm still like, until I go out there and see it, or still I have proof in my own eyes, I still like to research. And I think if I've known it's a globe for, or thought it's a globe for, I'm 32, it's a lot of kind of breaking down programming and trying to work out where I'm at. So I've got a lot of research to do in a sense.
Gun to your head right now. You have 3 seconds to answer. Get it wrong and you're dead. Flat or a globe? 3, 2, 1.
I would say neither or.
Sorry, it doesn't matter. You're dead.
Yeah, I'd lose my life for not having the knowledge.
Yeah, well, that's better than saying a globe. So I'll give you half credit there.
Yeah. So, firstly, I mean, something quite dramatic has happened, and we spoke about it on our last podcast, which was is it the Georgia Stones or the Georgia? It's Georgia Stones they're called.
The Georgia Guidestones.
Guidestones. Sorry. Yeah. So obviously we spoke about these on our last pod, but anyone that's new to this pod, would you just give a small or slight description to what they are and what they represent?
So here in the state of Georgia in 1981, this Stonehenge-like monument showed up with 5 big pillars, one in the middle, and on each side of the outside pillars in 8 different languages, there was 10 commandments, like the 10 Commandments. And the top one was never let the world population rise over 500 million again. Well, if you believe the current population number, that's a 95% reduction. And the rest are all about controlling the human race. So this is the New World Order's guidestones for the future of humanity. Nobody ever really knew who put it up. It's under heavy surveillance. And then just yesterday or the day before, as per this recording, they claim that somebody blew off a bomb there and damaged them severely. And that is not turning out to be the truth, because the video surveillance, there's multiple cameras, 24-hour surveillance there, and they can't show us a single clip. It's like a NASA launch. The NASA ignition, and then they go to another scene, and then it moves, and then they go to another scene. The same thing with the video surveillance. The explosion happens, and then they cut. And then the foreground changes, the grass changes, a fence appears. They can't show us what really happened. So what really happened, I don't know. But it's not some random people going up there strapping a bomb onto the thing, because that's not happening. But just for those of you that don't know, we're spinning in your heliocentric world, spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour, chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour, corkscrewing through space, traveling billions of miles every year. And somehow, when you look through this little hole on the guide stones, it lines up with Polaris. Okay? How that is absolutely 100% impossible.
What would be the globe model for why that lines up all the time?
What would be the globe model for why that lines up?
Yeah.
So,
what would be that view?
Yeah. So the globe model says Polaris is so far away that parallax doesn't happen, right? You know, when you're driving down the road and telephone poles are whipping by, boom, boom, they're going by fast, but in the distance there's a mountain, and that mountain kind of just moves much slower. Well, if that mountain was infinitely far, maybe it would never move from your perspective. So they want you to believe that over thousands and thousands of years, Polaris is so far away that it never changes its position in the sky relative to our corkscrewing through the universe.
Yeah. And
that's absolute. That's the if you can't wrap your mind around that lie, I don't know if I can help anybody that can't do that, because that's a lie. And so the globe actually they left having their cake and eating it too. They go, well, that's not necessarily true, you know. And there's a shaft in the Great Pyramid that points directly at Polaris, and so let's look at that for a second. They tell us, you know, the same story that, you know, we're not moving, but then they also tell us, oh no, that's not true. 4,000 years ago or whenever it was, our North Star was Thuban, a different star named Thuban. And when the pyramids were built, that shaft lined up with Thuban. Interesting. But somehow now, during our time, this history that we're experiencing now, it's lining up with Polaris because we've wobbled over, we've moved over. Just a coincidence. So all the time in between those stars, there's no history. But now we're lined up, and they say in 4,000 years from now, there'll be another North Star, right? It's moving. Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too, because if it was in the time, I'm not sure if it was 4,000 years, 2,000 years, whatever it was, but you take that, we've done the math, what they say the precession is, well, the Georgia Guidestones were up over 40 years. That should have moved a degree already, at least a degree, and a degree would make it way out of that hole. Try getting a piece of like pipe, like a copper plumbing pipe, and try to look at something in the far distance with it and see if you can keep it in there with just the tiny little shaking of your hands. Okay? You can't. But we're corkscrewing through space, going in all of these different directions, traveling billions of miles, and somehow it never moves from there. Some people are claiming that, backing up a little bit, you know the story with Ruth, the 102-year-old woman I interviewed. Did we talk about that last time?
We didn't actually bring it up, but I've seen the clip of you. Yeah, that she was taught.
Yeah, so I talked to her, and she said that she was taught about flat Earth in the early 1900s, 1920s, and here in American schools. And the video went viral, and people said, I'm going to go talk. I'm going to go to an old age home. I'm going to go. Everyone's going to go. I know people. I have access. And then literally the next couple of days, bam, the CV thing hit, and all old age homes are closed to the public. Nobody can get in, not even families, right? So people say, did Dave cause all this? Kind of funny, right? Can't rule it out. So this is the latest meme that's going out.
What did Dave cause a global pandemic?
To
keep old people in their homes so no one could know.
Maybe they made it up because of me. And
I think that's a reach.
Because it's total reach. But now because of all my interviews where I'm pointing out that Polaris absolutely proves that we're not moving. Well, now they got rid of that. And somehow a passport was found with my face on it at the Guidestones.
Yeah. Why do you
not
think...
true, but that's funny. Damn,
but why
funny.
Why do you think, you know, the person, what I read up on this is the person that got it built his name was a fake name.
Christian.
Yeah. So, and the guy that actually sculpted it didn't want to do it, and he paid a ridiculous amount of money. But if he's coming from the
cool
avenue,
story.
Yeah, of course, cool story. Like, but
from your point of view, what is the reason why, putting it in plain sight, like showing you exactly what they're doing for something like that? Like, is it an expression of themselves in a group where they're just like, oh, these, the general public are too stupid to understand what this thing is? Or is it to sort of coax you into, because one of them's keep the population down to 500 million. The other sort of commandments, though, are based on around our interaction with nature as well. That's what I looked at.
They want to keep us out of nature. They don't want us connecting with nature.
Nature, yeah.
That is, in school, they tell us that we only use 10% of our brains, right?
Mm-mm.
That's the goal of the Rockefeller-funded banker schools that we go to, right? They don't want us using the other 90%, which is connecting with source, connecting with nature, connecting with the creator. They don't want us using that because that information might will challenge their authority.
Mm.
When you connect with these higher levels of consciousness, you challenge these lower levels of consciousness that are ruling us right now. Right now, everyone is obeying rules by people that they don't have to listen to.
Yeah,
they only obey them because it's in their imagination that they have dominion over them.
Yeah.
Right? God, man, government. Government has jumped above us, and they're trying to get above God.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so that's where we are. That's what's going on in the world, and so many people are lost and can't see it. I'm surprised that you say that you're still researching. I'm surprised that you haven't at least ruled out the globe. You don't have to become a flat earther.
Oh, I would definitely.
The globe is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, but what fathoms me is when you say to someone, I'm trying to say to someone, look, it's how you got to look at it is like all of it's crazy in a sense, existence itself, right? But when you look at like the globe model, to like how you explain it, and when you start looking at the speed and everything that's going, and the sun being 93 million miles away, and if it was further, I said if you believe either, they're just as crazy as each other in a sense, because it's just so mad. But I look at the globe model and do think, yeah, it's nuts, because it's just so far fetched, And then there are a lot of things I do look at like, but I'm still. There is a stigma around being I am a flat earther, but that doesn't really bother me either. It's more just like, until I don't know how much concrete evidence of a globe people have in their heads without really just being what they've been told.
I know how well they think they have evidence.
Yeah, of course, but it's 15, 20 years of being told that.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
It's zero. And you know how I know it's zero? I'm offering 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. People go, well, give me a flat earth proof. I'll give you 100. You got time? You got a couple weeks? Let's go through them all.
So since
1 globe proof.
Yeah.
1. That's it.
So since our last chat, have you has any new developments come out that not you have your proofs, right? In the realm of flat earth, the proofs are already there. But since we spoke, it's been, I don't know, maybe a year or so. Is there anything else that's come across? Have you seen the sky ice? Have you seen that?
Oh, I mean, I haven't personally seen it. I know all the story about it.
Yeah.
And again, cool story, but it comes from a lot of credible people. But I haven't seen it myself. So if someone said, hey, you want to bet if it's real or not? I'd bet it's real. I'd even give you 100 to 1 odds that it's real.
Yeah.
But I don't have access to that. My big thing is, is the world set up where there's other worlds beyond us? Now, some of the Christians out there will be like, no, there's no other worlds. This is it. This God created this. I don't see anywhere in the Bible that God said he just created just the earth, or what is just the earth? Is this outer land out here? Is this outer land out here?
Yeah, or outer space.
Is that also Earth? Right? Is the whole world set up completely different? Like this one? You've seen this map, right?
Yeah. I've also seen people kind of mapping out the structures on the moon now. I've seen persons saying that the moon is plasma, it's a reflector. So it's like, that it's and the small part of that on your screen is a part of, that they can kind of depict it. But then, how do you distinguish like what is real and what is fake online? Because I could get a graphic designer and make that, and I could also map out on the moon different structures on the moon that make it look like it's reflecting the Earth. It's tricky to distinguish the truth. That's where I think I have a fine line. It's like I have to have a lot of years in research to really go, that's true.
No, I'm with you, and the whole moon reflection thing. Yeah, there's a lot of correlations in there.
Yeah.
To say it's a reflection, how do you know it's not a projection? How do you know our land that we have here isn't because of the map on the moon being projected, creating the energetic land here? We don't know. You can assume a million things. There's too many correlations on the moon to disregard. Now, did they take some liberties there and not darken some areas and stuff? Yeah, but there's still a lot. There's way too many similarities for me. So that's not something that I am diving into just because due to time. But there's other people looking into it, and it's very very interesting.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting. I mean, going back to your a question to me, like whether it's a global, I would definitely say I find NASA isn't something I go by in a sense, because that's something I find that is projected this whole kind of philosophy and science and cult around it. I think there are some things they've done good, but the whole globe model is not something I kind of go by through NASA. So how I look at that as well is like with like the sort of topics around resources and things like that, something that's funded by the government, which I think is where you were going. If there's outer lands, there's more resources. How I look at it is maybe that, that would make sense in a capitalistic world, because if there are outer lands, then they wouldn't want, billions of people to actually know, because it could keep the machine running a lot longer.
Oh, absolutely. There's in my app. Do you have my app yet?
Yeah, I'm on your app.
All right. So in the app, on the book section, I just reloaded a test version here. You scroll down a couple rows. There's
this is an upgrade. There wasn't books before. I think there was.
There's a new upgrade coming on Monday, and then at the end of this month, I have a massive upgrade coming where the messaging in the Friend Finder isn't just going to be this old 1999 messenger service. It's going to be Telegram meets iChat with video chatting, everything. This is going to bring all the flat earthers together. It's going to be the new social media for flat earthers.
Yeah.
But this book right here, the Navigator Who Crossed the Ice Wall, short read, one day read, easy schmeezy, amazing. Now I'm not claiming it's real, but it resonates as a possibility. And when you look at it, when you look at the about all of these other lands, if you will, that are beyond the ice wall, it makes a lot of sense. All of the stories about space, about the Lemurians and the Anunnaki, and you got all these other worlds, Martians, whatever, that could all be here. That's all here on our world, where we live here on this center one. And then these are other planets. Could be Mars out here, and Pluto and Lemuria and whatever. And then there are wars. There are power struggles. There are all sorts of stuff going on, kind of just like Star Wars, right? And in this book, they talk about, again, this is just speculation, because I'm not claiming any of this is real. I'm claiming we should have the right to go explore and look and see what's out there. But in the book, one thing I found very, very interesting was they talk about that the people in our realm, in our circle, in our world, the controllers, which they call the custodians, do a reset every time people start evolving spiritually too much, because they otherwise they will lose control over them. And that's absolutely the truth. When you raise up your consciousness, see the world for what it is, you unplug from their heliocentric mind control matrix. So they say they keep doing these resets, and we're in the middle of one right now, if anyone didn't notice. But they call it that people raise up spiritually, and they connect with the source. And when they all connect with the source together, they have great power. Well, we know that's true. We know the Maharaji effect, when people meditate for world peace together, world peace breaks out, in certain areas or whatever. But think about that. it's like the source, the force from Star Wars, the same thing. They're telling us, right? The power of the source, of the force. So again, too many things to ignore. Great book, and it'll help open up your mind. If you're a flat earther and you're looking to expand your mind, that's the other thing. We only use 10% of our brains. We live on a ball. That's limiting your thoughts, limiting your power, and everything stops at the horizon because we go around a ball, when in truth, the horizon is infinite.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Our thoughts are infinite. Our possibilities are infinite. There's no shortages. There's no climate emergency. There's nothing. There's no overpopulation. There's nothing to be afraid of. No asteroids, no nuclear bombs.
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean, like overpopulation, I find quite a funny one, because it's like you could drive on the motorway in England and you can see fields forever. There's land. It's just the fact that we all live in tiny little cities. And I also heard that you could fit the entire population in Texas. So I think that's another driving force for
every family in America could have I think a half an acre in Texas, and part of Texas will be empty.
Yeah.
And every family in the world could have an acre in Australia, and half of Australia would be empty.
Yeah. So are you a believer in
that's if you believe in the stupid population number, which is absolutely impossible.
So you don't think it's 7 billion?
Well, I mean, people don't understand what big numbers are.
No, you can't fathom that kind of number.
Well, people don't know. So think about this. You know, everybody's getting this in their arm. We won't say what that is. Yeah. And people have multiple 2, 3, 4. You know, double boost up, and that they're Ving the whole world. Well, let's say out of the 5 companies that offer the V, that they each have 5 plants making the V, and they make them at per plant 1 V every second around the clock without fail. Okay, without any stopping. Right?
Yeah, I know where you're going. That basically it would take too long.
It would take 10 years to make 1 for everybody.
Yeah.
Take 10 years to make 1 for everybody, and now they're saying people have had 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they don't have 5 plants each. 25 plants, making them 25 a second. Okay.
That's hard to distinguish though. How many factories they were making it? Is it all listed? Do you know what I mean?
You know what? I haven't looked, but I know I don't want to say I know, but the information.
Well, I haven't got it anyway because I didn't fall for that one in the sense of what it is.
Good for you.
I had to see, and that wasn't too bad. But I mean, we're in England at the minute. We've also got after Cern, which we'll get into a little bit. Our government's just falling apart. Basically,
you know what's going on in England? I heard that the government, everyone's missing.
They're all just resigning. Like everyone in the pie. They're just like, look.
Did that happen today and yesterday?
Today and yesterday, which is funny. Everything seems to be going a bit nuts in the last 2 days since they've opened this CERN collider. But whether it correlates together,
the Georgia Guidestones happened the day after. It's George Bush Jr.'s birthday, same day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so what do you know about CERN as what they're trying to do? Because I mean, in the conspiracy world, I've heard loads, like portals. They're trying to, and they even said on their website they're not trying to open portals.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So you've seen the crazy rituals that they do, the dances, the satanic stuff,
Bohemian Grove and things like that.
Yeah. And well, worse than that. And then they have the Shiva, the goddess of war or destruction, outside of Cern in the courtyard. And what is all of this about? People just ignore it. I mean, that and the Gothard or whatever, the tunnel that they did, the ceremony for that. I mean, incredibly satanic, insane stuff. So what do I know about CERN? I don't know anything really about CERN other than what we've all dug up on it. Those rituals alone should make you realize that it's not what they're saying. I also heard a statistic, and I haven't verified, but it looks pretty reliable, that there's thousands of these things across the realm, all around the earth. CERN isn't the only one. There's a couple thousand of them. And there's no real video of, a record of it being built. just like the International Space Station. Well, the International Space Station is different because it's fake. It's not really there. CERN is there. Right? I can't confirm that it's 17 miles around, but my thought, just a thought, me thinking, is that these colliders were here from a previous pre-reset civilization. They were here for whatever purpose it is. In the book that I was telling you about, The Navigator Who Crossed the Ice Wall, they talk about how the custodians do the reset through nature, through weather, and they control the weather with all these pyramids all over the earth. But the pyramids have been destroyed, and they can no longer control the weather that way, which kind of explains why the governments have been rushing to control the weather by 2025, right? Because they maybe they need a reset to come in. So maybe they're like, oh, we can't do it yet. Maybe we'll have to do this thing. Who knows? I mean, in my opinion, the people that are trying to do the reset are scrambling. They're trying to figure it out, and I think they're failing.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, have you heard of like Project Looking Glass?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like I'm not sure whether it's a machine or something that they would go into, and they can't actually change what's going to happen in the future, but they can see it, and it sort of mirrors a sort of future within that. And there was a CIA operative that was talking about it, and he basically said they know what's going to happen, whoever they are. I don't know who to distinguish they are, but they know what's going to happen, but they can only change people's perception or people's thoughts. And then it led into like, we're in a holographic universe and the mind projects it all. So how I look at things like that with most of everything that comes out, how are you able to distinguish, is that we're being told it's a great reset. That people are coming out and talking about the book itself, saying that this book or this great reset, thing is stating exactly what they're going to be doing. They always do kind of state what they're doing. But, I mean, really around that, what would be, I don't know where my question was going, but what would be your thoughts on how many resets there's kind of been? I look at like an old game, like when you look at these 7 wonders or statues around the world, it's like that's a previous game that was being played. And it didn't work out.
Yeah, I don't know how many there have been. I think my personal opinion, and we don't know anything before 1900 unless you know someone that's still alive today that has their wits about them and that can remember. I think that the reset, the digging out of what we call the mud flood happened around 1840, if I had to guess. And over the next 60 years, things came up. I grew up here in Connecticut, right next to New York City, and the Bronx, which is a borough of New York City, was destroyed. It was destroyed, buildings everywhere.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about it. Like, wait a minute, that was in 1960. Like, when were these buildings built? Who built them? Why are they destroyed? What happened? Buildings last hundreds of years. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't built in the 1800s. What were they built and then destroyed? And then all of the tunnel systems through New York City, Grand Central Station, Penn Station, they don't even use half of these tunnels, or I don't know how many, but there's many unused tunnels. I'm like, wait, so they dug these huge tunnels and now they don't use them? I think these are from previous civilizations. I think the tunnel system around our realm is beyond what I can even imagine. And I relate it to Disney World. All the parks in Disney World are connected by underground unseen tunnels. They're modeling it. And Disney World, I think, is mapped out like the flat earth in some areas. There's some correlation to it. I forget exactly what it was. But they're showing us a microcosm of what this world is. Maybe on that map I showed you with all those worlds, maybe they're all connected with tunnels, right?
Yeah.
Because if you were the controllers, the builders, the custodians, whatever you want to call it, well, flying would be difficult because maybe there's an energetic dome, there's weather, there's darkness, there's navigation issues. On a boat, doesn't work because there's horrible seas, and then you hit land, and then you got to go across the land. Well, tunneling at a certain depth is perfect. It's 50 degrees the whole way, no weather, no issues.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I see that as well. I mean, there's also the problem I have with with science and NASA. It's like that's all explained. We know that's done. So then the other concern I have is that the mind constantly wants to search for more, and it's around the flat Earth model. It's like there is so much more to talk about. It's like I find I'm not really searching for an astronaut because I like the unknown. But then it's
I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go on.
When you say the mind is always searching for more, yeah, we're searching for truth.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I don't want the Earth to be anything other than I just want to know the truth.
Yeah,
I mean, this Earth is an amazing place. This world, I believe that everything is alive. We're inside this living system, and we're part of it. I don't believe that we can exist elsewhere. Right? The whole magical leap to outer space is absolutely insanity. It's scientifically impossible. You have to take leaps so huge that your entire hypothesis of space and everything you want to talk about in space is worthless because you're talking about Narnia. I mean, it's nothing. There's nothing real about it. Now, are there more lands? Is it set up like those ponds? Is it rings around us? I don't know, but it's scientifically possible, all of it.
Yeah, that's what
traveling from there, possible.
Yeah. That's what I
everything's
find.
Possible.
The model isn't actually that far out there. It's obviously when we last spoke, it's people instantly think that flat Earth is a disc in space. There's actually a guy in England I'm going to try and see called Martin Kenny. And in his
Martin's great.
In his living room, he has the whole model set out. So I think if people can't visualize it in their head because you go to the cinema and you see a globe, it's universal or it's everywhere. So it's quite hard if you had that model everywhere, then you could see it a bit more. So yeah, I mean, what do you think of like Elon Musk and that kind of realm? Are they just wasting time? Just this whole kind of ploy the richest kind of people in the world. There you go. You got the.
Yeah. So I mean, this heliocentric disk space nonsense, absolute, complete, and total nonsense. And did we go over Elon's?
No, we didn't touch Elon Musk before. I don't think.
Okay, so let me just pull up a SpaceX video. This is my favorite. I show it on many streams. So, that's not the one I wanted. So. Where is the one I wanted?
It's not a real one, that one, is it?
This is why I'm looking for the other one. Watch this stupid thing take off. Absolute ridiculousness. Maybe it's over here. Sorry. Where is there it is. Okay. So, yeah, look at this thing just hovering there. What is this? This is a helium balloon with a little bit of fireworks on the bottom. And this was a test, all right?
Yeah.
But now I'm going to show you another test of
they state it as, or
yeah. So This is a rocket that's going to go to Mars. It weighs many, many tons. It's filled with fuel, and it's going to take off from this little rickety pad. Now watch these camera. Edit, edit, edit. Just like the Georgia Guidestones. Edit, edit, edit. You don't get to see anything. Mm-hmm. This little flame is lifting this up. Now let's do some geometry. This is a far shot, but watch the close shot. And this isn't high because of the angle that I'm looking at. I'm looking at the side of it. It can't be that high. Now, this shot looked pretty high. Well, look, wait a minute. I'm not that high. How high can that be if I can see the side? And now look how high it is. This is live, real time. Now the engines have shut off. This thing is like 40 tons free falling out of the sky. Look at the smoke coming off of it. Watch the next edit. And watch how slow the smoke is coming off of it. Is this 40,000 pounds free falling? Is this free falling? Okay. Now look, I was pausing it. This is a shot from how could this be that high? Look how far the land is, right? This is not edited. Okay. Now this thing is free falling. Now the 3 engines are going to turn on. Now look how high it is all of a sudden. Crazy. And now watch, it's going to turn on. It's going to edit again. Cameraman's going to get right underneath it. The 3 engines are going to turn on and 2 of them are going to burn out. Watch, edit, goes underneath. Now watch, 2 of the 3 are going to burn out. There they go, 1 out, 2 out. And this thing is going to land upright with that little flame. Look, and watch, CGI smoke. That's fake smoke. And it lands upright. Now, if I said, I'll give you $1 if you say that's fake, or $1,000 if you say it's real, and you only get the prize if you're right, which one are you going to take?
The only answer I had in my head is I actually do a bit of gardening, and I do it for a rocket engineer, so I'll show you in the video.
So the answer is you'll take the $1 because why say 1,000 because you know you're not going to get it. It's fake. This is Elon Musk.
Yeah. It doesn't look
fraud.
I would say it doesn't look legit. I mean, I saw I saw one the other day.
It doesn't look legit.
Well, but I'm not, I'm not a rocket engineer. I don't know how much thrust that one. If it's 40 tons, you don't know what it releases. I don't know how much it could use. But when you look at other rockets, they have thrusters that are like the size of a human body. So yeah, it doesn't. To me, from what I understand, it doesn't look right. I've also seen I think they were doing some work on the space station the other day, and someone put out that the edit. It was like part of the ship was here, and then the globe or the curve.
Yeah, that's me. You saw that on the app,
and then it was
that was featured on the app.
I saw it on like TikTok's always mad on Flat Earth, but I saw it on I saw it go on the side. You know, the editing. You know, there's loads of editing problems, but then where I do edits and stuff, you can
saw this.
Yeah,
here it is. Here it is,
yeah.
and
this is live as well, so people should know.
And then we're seeing the same side. Look at the Earth is at 90 degrees, and now it's here. And we've done the analysis. We're not looking from a different side. There's no way to do this. And there's just, whether they do it on purpose or that's stupid, I don't know the answer. I'm going to just go with that's stupid.
For me, it just seems mad for them, for NASA to be who they are. They admit that they have artists that obviously construct these things. You've got the James Webber apparently going out and visualizing stuff. I tried to look at the live stream from the James Webber, and all you can see is maybe sort of parts of it internally. It looks like I'm not really sure.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I can make up something on my computer and tell you it's from the James Webb.
Yeah, but
watch this guy.
But that's how I look at it. With people with £64 million invested today, I've got one edit in my house and I can put together better things. What I find funny is
$64 million a day.
Yeah, wouldn't they have the best editors in the world, so they wouldn't have any slip ups?
People don't understand how much money that is. Watch this. This guy, he drops the thing he's holding and it goes down. Watch. Oops. Why did it go down? Why did he catch it? Like, you drop something, you catch it. Okay? He's in space. You can't drop things in space.
Yeah, and he does kind of catch it pretty quick.
Yeah, watch. There he goes. Oops. Why did it fall?
I mean, I've never been in zero gravity, though.
Yeah, well, but
but it's true. If a whole body can float...
Do you have any common sense? Do you have any common sense?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if
you do?
Yeah.
How do you know? Have you ever tried to punch yourself in the eye? Did you know that it doesn't hurt at all?
I mean,
have you ever tried?
Well, no, I haven't, but I've been punched.
Try it right now. Punch yourself in the eye as hard as you can.
I'm good.
Okay? Well, how did you know not to do that?
Because you know from instinct, yes.
Because you have common sense.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you can see a body floating that much, you can tell. I mean, we saw the other one with the balloon or the ball, and that goes down too quick. I mean, it wouldn't...
Well, that one I could say... They actually
we agreed on that point a little bit.
You could argue that one, but this one grabbing the wire, there's no, there's nothing to it. And so you catch them faking once, everything is off the table.
Yeah,
everything.
The whole way it's been built as well. You know, Operation Paperclip. You know,
that's another story, by the way. I don't believe in Operation Paperclip.
So you don't believe that the Nazis went over? Because even pesticides were from that.
Yeah, but there was no space race. Yes, they made up an Operation Paperclip and they brought them over, but they were all working together from the very beginning. Yeah, from the very beginning. Now watch this one. These guys, look, we're going to do this upside down thing. They don't do this very often because it causes problems. But there's a glitch, and you can see the wires right there. Watch, I'm just showing you where they are. And you'll see a glitch. You see the glitch in the layering right there?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
What is the excuse for that?
Yeah, there's not. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that a huge corporation funded by a government would be deceiving people. That it's still just the point of where you can fathom that the Earth is flat from
Ryan,
the internet.
Where can the only people that are telling you the Earth is a globe are these liars?
Yeah.
Here, I have a question for you. Where can you fathom that we live on a spinning ball?
Yeah, only from them.
In a space vacuum with air and water stuck to the outside without a container, flying trillions and billions of miles in every direction you can imagine, where the stars never change, where you can't see, you do the math on the stars, you can't see a star at a light week away, let alone light years away. Absolute faith in nonsense is the only way you can believe in the globe.
Yeah. I mean, do you?
You say you know what, I'm sorry to interrupt you, and I'm gonna let you talk more. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but you say yeah a lot, and then you go right back to the globe.
No,
I
I'm not. I'm
listened
not
to our
going.
last interview.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going back to the globe. I was going to go back to. I mean, it's not what My show is about what reality are you in. So it's like I'm trying to decipher the points that you think and the points that you find this out. So the more evidence that anyone can come across, like NASA and everything else, creates that model. But when we're still at a point where there are questions I have where it's I don't know, because we don't know what further structure or the actual structure is yet. If I get to that point, you can show me pictures or a model, and they're showing the same thing. NASA's showing everything is animated. So when I look at it like this, Martin Kenny has made a whole entire structure in his room. That's great, but that's based upon a belief structure of what you can fathom is what's out there. So
correct.
There's
I'm not
also...
claiming that Martin's right.
No. So I'm saying there are still some points. We want
the right to go out there. Why are they hiding it from us?
I mean, why has the world agreed on one treaty and nothing else?
Well, they have agreed on two things. The entire world agreed on the treaty and this. Okay, this arm thing. Yeah. Right. Okay. They all agree on those two things. Huh? Interesting. Right. What's up with that? I am a believer that there's more land out there, but I'm not going to claim it as an absolute fact. Mm-hmm. But I want the right to go out there. We want helium. NASA controls all the helium. Look, does this look airtight to you?
Yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah.
All right, come on.
Yeah.
Once you see this.
But I don't think my point of view right now is to if I give you the yes, I'm a flat earther, like that isn't.
No, you don't have to ever say that, because
no, exactly.
We don't know what the Earth is.
That's what I mean. We're still at that point.
I am saying we don't live on a spinning globe in a space vacuum.
I still don't know that either.
How can you not know that at this point?
Because I can still. There's so many different like this.
Well, okay.
So this guy's now in water. Is that what we're saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I don't know what this is, but
that's what
I'm pointing out the door. This could be. I don't know. He could be hanging from wires. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
He could be upside down. I don't know. Do I think that's water? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I would say, the globe model to me is not something I believe in. That's where I'm at. Like I'm.
Very good.
Yeah. No. To give you that.
Frustrated.
No, for sure. Don't get frustrated. Right. But what I'm saying, but also I go into sort of dimensional realities and things like that. Simulation theory. It's like it could all be just a projection of your own mind in something that comforts the reality that you're building upon in your building blocks. You could still. There's always another point of view of where it can come from or what it is. So, but what I do think is that yes, there is still a lot more to be discovered in your avenue.
I believe we're inside a physical simulation.
Yeah, okay. So a physical simulation. Do you believe in sort of a higher mind, things like that, like the way of a game structure would work?
I believe this is Dave Weiss. Dave's belief.
Yeah.
That we are eternal souls and that we choose to incarnate here to have an adventure in this schoolroom playground. It's an amazing, amazing place. And that's why we experience contrast from horrible to amazing, right? And you have the choice to choose amazing or horror. So people go, well, I don't like this. Well, if you don't like it, that means you like something opposite of it.
Yeah.
So go over there. And so without having all of the negativity, you couldn't have the positivity. That's my belief, right? So we're here to expand the mind of the creator. We are the creator. We're all part of this creation.
Yeah.
Everything is alive. It's a living system, right? My personal belief is when this kingdom was created, they threw down some major infrastructure that we can't even fathom today, right? Infrastructure, and then it's been destroyed. They just kind of let us go and do our thing and free will, and there's bad people. But the problem is the vast majority of the world is good people. And when you're a good person, you can't imagine that there's such horrible evilness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, even in the CIA docs, there are points of that. If you think Operation Paperclip isn't true, but then there's also like the gateway process, which teaches astral projection and all these other stuff. And in there, it does state, that the mind projects the holographic universe. So even in that point leads me to yeah, sorry.
No problem. I thought you were done. So let me ask you a question. Everything that you have in your life right now, is it something that you astral projected into your reality? I think it is.
I think like, not to correct you, I think but manifest in a way.
Manifest, better word.
I mean, astral projection is a description of leaving.
Wrong words.
Yeah.
You and maybe if you got better at manifesting, you'd be able to astral project and go other places. You could do everything. Your thoughts create your reality. That's a simpler way to say it. And they, the controllers, the bankers, don't want us to know that. They don't want us to know that. So, whether this is a simulation, whatever you want to call it, we're here. We're having a physical experience in this realm. And no matter what happens, it's okay. It's like playing a video game. You get reset and you get to play again. Or maybe you get kicked out forever. I don't know. It depends on how evil you are. Maybe you get like, you know what? You were so bad, you're going to this realm and you're going to have to deal with that versus raising up. Maybe you go down to a lower level or to a higher level. If you're a happy person, you tend to attract happy people. If you're a miserable person, you're going to attract miserable people. Yeah. This world, this Earth system is contriving, to deliver you all of your thoughts, no matter what they are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a great believer in that. I do manifestation. I do gratitude. I do things like that to try, and everything. It doesn't happen in the way that you think it happens, but it does happen. You start to generate those thoughts, and I think thoughts are electric, outputs in a sense. So these things do go out, and we don't understand how all this system works, but I think we're getting to a point of it, and that's why something like a great reset is probably is in the works. So what's this behind you? Another map? Is this an older map?
So this is just a world map based on the globe. One thing I could point out here, I actually didn't realize I brought this up right away. In Antarctica, they tell us there's these penguins, and the penguins travel, I think, 600 miles during their migration feeding season. Well, they're not just found in Antarctica. They're found here in South America. They're found here in South Africa, and they're found here in Australia. The problem is, this is the Drake's Passage right between these outer islands of Antarctica is about 500, 600 miles. Okay? So how did they get all the way from Antarctica, which isn't even on the map here, all the way here and all the way here? But if we look at the map on like an old map, this is an old map that was found. Here's Drake's Passage. There's your short little clip there. Here's Africa, and here's Australia. It makes these migratory paths way more possible because they're much closer.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar to the flight paths that don't make sense as well. There's also loads of videos on where people have asked pilots, and they said they don't even allow for curvature. And then there are pilots. There are pilots. I think my problem is it is a 15, 20 years of understanding one thing, and you don't even realize how the mind can do that, as in the sense of something to be true, or something like the globe, or however you want to look at it, the globe, in a sense, you've been told it so many times. If you keep telling someone so many times through subliminal messaging, you don't even know it's your own decision, if you know what I mean. And that's what I find with talking to anyone else. It's not necessarily about the globe or flat earth or a lot of things.
Sorry about that. I'm coming back. I'm still here.
You've gone into darkness.
I've lost myself. There we go. I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, back from space.
Yeah.
No.
Whoa, there. Now I'm back in space.
Well, I don't feel more comfortable with that in the background anyway.
But, good. I was afraid that you would. Here, this is versus that virtual space, augmented, animation space. This is actual video of our Earth, flat Earth, not spinning below us, not whirling and twirling and corkscrewing through space. This is a balloon, 120,000 feet. small local sun, making a local hotspot. All of these things only possible on a flat Earth.
Yeah. This is possible for you to do, right? I mean, there is companies, you can even ask companies, but I think it's only 120,000 feet. Because this is a clothing
That's as high as we can get with a balloon.
line I'm bringing out. It's called the Pear-Shaped Society. So, it's merch. It's a bit of fun, you know? But basically, how I look at it is, I want to put a pear into space. So, you know, it's looking at everything, every structure in a sense. How I create sort of art and everything like that.
So yes, the Pear-Shaped Society is our new merch. It is out now. You can click in the link below, and yeah, you can become a member of the Pear-Shaped Society, which is going to develop more as we go along. But we thought we'd release this tee now, and just have a look.
But you could do this at this kind of height, couldn't you? If you wanted to put something out there.
This is one of our. I'm not sure who did this one exactly, but one of our. You know, we have a couple flat earthers that were doing balloons for a year. The problem is, you know, they cost a couple $1,000s, and you can lose all the equipment, which happens, you know, often.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to do. It's been done. It's been done a bunch of times. We have tons of balloon videos, and you know, some of them people will use a fisheye lens, and everyone, oh my God, there's the Earth curve. But then you analyze it, you realize it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, you do have even like Neil. Sorry to cut you short, but Neil deGrasse Tyson. He even said with the Red Bull. 120,000 feet, the astronaut that jumped, I'm not sure if he was an astronaut, but he jumped from a really high feet, and Neil deGrasse used a globe model and said even at that height you couldn't see the curvature. They used a fishbowl.
Right. Here's the curvature he saw, but this is all New Mexico. All of that is one small state here in America.
He didn't land either in the right place or something like that.
Right, and he landed ahead of the spin. The Earth is spinning this way, and he went up and landed over here. How the heck does that happen? Gravity, you know, speed, because he'd have to start going faster. People go, well, the Earth is already spinning. You're already at that speed. I could drink my water on an airplane. And, you know, it's like, okay, let's say he's spinning at 1,000 miles an hour when he's attached to the ground. When he goes up to that altitude, he has to go 1,100 miles an hour or 1,200 miles an hour just to keep up with that same spot on the ground because he has to make a bigger circle. He outran it.
Yeah, and landed. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. But even you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, someone that is on the scientific side, is disagreeing with what they're showing as well. So
when he
was
climbed
going
in,
out,
he climbed in, and when he opened the hatch at 127,000 feet at level, the horizon's at the same level, right? It should be dropped down. This is what Google Earth says it should do. But for some reason, it's still there.
I mean, I said that to my mum once, actually. You know, she lives in Spain, and on her balcony, you know, you can go on the beach, and the horizon will be eye level. You go out to the house, or you go out to her house is on a hill. Go out to the hill, the horizon is always eye level, and that to me makes sense. If something is further in distance, and it's straight, then that's where I'm like, seeing is believing for people. Once they have it in their own experience, then they start to experience. You can throw loads of information, but sometimes it just doesn't connect the dots.
The problem is the anti-globers, if you will, the anti-flat earthers, the globe shills out there will go, look, I got a picture and the horizon's lower. Well, yeah, as you get higher and higher and higher, you can see farther and farther and farther, but the atmosphere gets too thick.
Yeah.
Okay, the atmosphere becomes too thick, and then when it becomes too thick, you see it becomes sky, right? When the atmosphere becomes too thick, you see sky. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand.
So right here we go. Mountain they're getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Is this the last mountain, or is there another mountain out here you just can't see?
Yeah.
Well, now this is your horizon, and maybe if you took a water level, you'd see, well, that's below my horizon.
Yeah.
Right? That's because you can't see the horizon. If you want to know where the true horizon is, and I've done this down at the beach, I'm like, what land can I see out there? I take a glass of water and I put it right in front of me so my eyes are looking right across the surface of the water. That's where your true horizon is. That's where the horizon, where the land has come together.
Yeah.
And then you look, and then you, like, I'll do that in front of the camera and I'll zoom in. I'm like, oh, look, I do see some more land out there. It's not completely blocked.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I see that as well. I mean, you've got Nikon cameras as well now. People are just going up and you can't see a boat, and then you use, a really good lens and you can see the boat after a while. So it's not that it's actually disappeared over the horizon. It's just that you can't see that far, or, the atmosphere is too thick. So yeah, I know that I've seen that as well.
It's right here, right? We're taking our horizon where the sky and the land come together. And as I increase the angular size, oh, look, there is a boat there.
Yeah.
Right? That's all I'm doing. Bringing it into where your eye can see
into
it.
focus.
And then when you take the water, these little bumps of water, you got bulging water here because of waves, they'll block the whole boat. Just a little wave in the foreground will block a whole city skyline. People don't understand that. It's amazing.
No, the only thing I saw once as well, which I think it was on a big show, was that they did a laser test and it didn't quite work out. That went quite viral. Have you seen that one? I can't really remember.
Yeah, so Behind the Curve was a hit piece done on Flat Earth. And where do I have that? I have that somewhere. So it was Jaron from Jaronism. So his idea was we have a canal that the water is our baseline, and along the road we had 3 pieces of plywood with holes drilled at the same height, a hole like this big.
Yeah.
And we used it to make sure they were all at the same height relative to the canal. All right, because the road could have ups and downs, so it's all relative to the canal. We had them all lined up. So we had this laser with a expensive laser with a focusing head, because lasers do spread out, right? But this was a condenser. Well, before we could even do the test, the laser head melted. It just melted and it was ruined. We couldn't use it. So then we're like, all right, well, we're here. It's night, and we hold the light in the hole, and the guy, I can't see it. He goes, now hold the light up. And the guy goes, oh, I can see it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But if it was Earth curve, he'd have to hold it up 27 feet. But he only held it up 3 feet.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, but then that's where they cut the movie. And then he brought it down again. And he goes, oh, I still see it. Right? Now that, in my opinion, proves there is no curvature. But everybody walked away, Globers and not, saying, we didn't prove anything. Too many variables. It was a tree in the way, branches. That's why they couldn't see it at one point. And everybody walked away saying it proved nothing. But the movie deceptively made it look like flat earthers prove the curve, when that's not true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I see that as well. But then
here's it. Glober's best proof that the Earth is a curve is flat earthers proved it with a failed laser test. That's their best proof. When in reality, they're not looking at all the details. He'd have to hold that light up 27 feet to get it over the curve.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
am I reaching up 27 feet?
I've seen other tests where it's like, there should be curvature within 100 miles and there isn't. So yeah, I mean, there is a lot to it. My interest is more like, okay, if it is flat, then how, you can't go to the Arctic, you can't find out the after walls. You can fly up like this and show people clearly, but then it's still like it gets eradicated in some way that is just not true. It's like the story isn't as big, or the truth isn't as big as the story, or the story isn't as big as the truth. With NASA to this, that's what I find a lot of the time with people. I mean,
anything else? We're running out of time. You got any other questions? I got a few minutes.
No, I think, the only other thing really I was going to talk about was it's quite a big discussion if we've only got a couple of minutes, but I was going to sort of see if you had any knowledge around the ancient civilizations and what they were doing and how they mapped it out as flat Earth. Because I think there's a lot of...
Yeah. So, again, as I said, I wasn't there. I don't know. But if you look at the ancient civilizations, they all show a flat Earth cosmology, right? Are you familiar? You know what an astrolabe is?
No.
Astrolabe is a handheld thing that you can show your position and chart out the stars. That works perfectly. That only works on a flat Earth. Are you familiar with the Antikythera mechanism?
No.
So this was found off of Greece, off the island of Antikythera. Some divers found this fossilized gear wheel, thousands of years old, right? So they did X-rays and MRI on it. After years, they reconstructed it, and it's a model that shows you where some of the planets are: the sun, the moon, the phase, and the eclipses. And it has 2 cycles in it. It shows you the Soros eclipse cycles and how they repeat after 18 years. Now, there's so many things about this mechanism. If it can mechanically show you how everything repeats on a cycle, well, that gets rid of the heliocentric beehive, random gravity, spiraling system of randomness. This is a designed system. This thing proves it. It works to this very day. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's thousands of years old.
Where is it being used? Who developed it? Like,
well, no, I don't know. Whatever civilization
okay.
was around 2000, maybe the pharaohs did. I don't know. I mean, and you're like, well, the pharaohs weren't off of Greece. Well, the pharaohs weren't in the Grand Canyon here in America, but there is Egyptian artifacts and structures in the canyon that no one's allowed to go visit.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything is a lie. Everything. Dave, everything can't be a conspiracy. Yeah, it can.
Mm-hmm. I did see a funny one. To end on that note, I did see a funny one the other day. What's the difference between the truth and a conspiracy?
6 months.
I knew you know that. Yeah. All right, Dave.
So,
yeah, do you want to shout out anything, your app and everything else?
I want you to shout out my app. How good is it?
It's good. It's usable. I mean, I have actually tested it when I go to a place called Trent Park, and I have actually looked at where the sun and the moon is. So yeah, it's a good app. I mean, there's a lot of people on there now, isn't there? Can't you get everyone on there to do a crowdfunding for like $1 each or £1 each, and then try to build an army to go to the Arctic Wall?
It's hard to get. Well, build an army. It's hard to get people to click the like button on a video. Okay, let alone get off their couches and throw some money and do things.
Yeah,
it shows you where people are. People are using it as a dating app. People are using it as a job app. People are using it just to make friends, to find like-minded people. Every one of these dots has a lot in common. They all know about the nonsense that's going on in the world. And it's phenomenal. We're at 64, almost 65,000 dots, and it's about to get way better with the messaging service that's going to be happening. So it's going to be a game changer. Where are you located?
England.
London. So here we go.
Yeah.
Where's London? Down somewhere under all these dots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got some flat earthers over there. You better join the party before it's too late.
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, last time it looks like there's even more. So yeah. It's been in a year.
It's growing. It's growing super fast. All those orange dots are people that are new, and then it just goes on and on from there.
Yeah. Well,
and for those of you that have the app and are telling other people, click this button right here, okay, and that'll show you your status on how many people you referred. And your referral number is right here. Okay, so you can, when someone downloads the app, to say, hey, the first thing it asks you, do you have a referral code? Put in the code, and then you'll get a credit on here, and that's going to work towards the video messaging. You only get a certain amount of minutes per month of free video messaging, and if you make a referral, you get a ton more minutes added to your bank.
Okay.
So that's coming. You don't get that right yet, but you can start accumulating referrals.
So you're upgrading. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. The messaging service literally, I mean, if you look at the messaging service, it's slow. It's literally like 1999 AOL Messenger.
Oh, okay. You got dial-up.
Yeah, this is dial-up. But the new one is going to be Telegram meets iPhone iChat on steroids.
Yeah,
It's going to be that good.
Yeah, I guess that's quite hard to develop a communication platform along with an app.
It's going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be released by August 1st, hopefully before, and it's going to be amazing. But if you want to find my stuff, everything can be found at flatearthdave.com. If you want to book me for a show, there's a Book Dave link there. If you're having an issue with your phone and the app, there's a support link there. Just give us all your information. Hey, what's the information on the phone? What problem you're having? Send it along, and we'll quickly fix it for you. If you're having an issue, most people are having no issues. If you want to find my short videos, my DITRH channel, it's all short videos. It's linked there. My interviews channel, this interview, everything will be linked there on the interviews buttons, and of course the app is there too. The app is $3, one-time charge. If you want to be able to send messages, if you want to be able to use the Dark Sky Weather app, which is amazing, and if you want to fill out user profiles or view user profiles, you have to subscribe. It's $10, $11 a year, right? You bought me a drink. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's $11 a year, but you don't have to subscribe. But I need people to subscribe to help support the messaging system.
Are you on Patreon as well?
It's going to be great. I am on Patreon. All my videos are linked there. If you people are like, you got to be on Patreon. I was like, I'd rather give people something, right? I don't put a lot of stuff on Patreon, although I do put some pre-interviews on there, and occasionally I'll do a group, Q&A hangout.
Yeah.
But if you want to support me that way, that's great. The best way to support me and yourself, more importantly, is get the app, subscribe to the app, $11, and get other people, wake other people up. Use the app to wake other people up. That's the key. There's so much content on the app, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, you've got videos and books and everything else other than the
videos, books, homeschooling section now. I've got all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Well, thank you again for your time.
All right, man.
And yeah, we'll speak soon. Thanks a lot, Dave.
All right. Thanks.
Cheers.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
So that brings us to the finale of episode 20, season 2, or even the finale of season 2. It's been good. I've enjoyed it. I've had lots of people on, developed the unusual suspects, met Flateath Dave twice, maybe the last time, as he said. And yeah, frustrated some people, not frustrated other people. But it's all about finding out what reality is, and everyone from the 2 seasons I've had so far, everyone has a different one. And what I can do to awaken people, or people to become more aware of other people's understanding around the world, that's kind of my position. That's what I see. I haven't fully disclosed what I believe in yet, because I'm still researching myself, and I think we should all have that choice and that stance in life. It should be that if you don't know, you don't know, and it's not a bad thing to not know. You should just go along with your instinct, and yes, discover what you can and grow and continue to appreciate other people in the right way. So yeah, we'll be back in probably September, October. I'll be doing lots of vlogs and a lot of characters, and going out in the streets and doing a lot more YouTube work at the minute. But we're filming the podcast in the background for season 3, and we'll be releasing season 3. There'll be about 20 episodes across 20 weeks from hopefully October is what we're aiming for. I've got some seriously interesting guests, like breatharian, comedians, mental health sex worker. So I mean, the list is endless. Cosmologists, Kundalini experts. So yeah, it's going to be a wild one, and I can't wait. And activists as well. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, click that button, and I hope to see you again soon. Oh yeah, merch. Get the merch. We're only going to be releasing 2 t-shirts at the minute, so this is the Pear-Shaped Society, and that's going to be our brand. And yes, it's a fucking cracker, man. Dave liked it.